new Clio hybrid, first drive.
Hello friends, welcome to Kerram Proving Ground. I'm going to drive new Renault Clio.
This time we tested a new Clio E-Tech hybrid prototype. We spoke with engineers about hybrid system, new gearbox, and did the sprint from 0 to 100 km per hour in last video. But now we are gonna drive the new Clio E-Tech on the public roads. The new petrol-electric hybrid based on a hybrid series parallel architecture to provide the largest range of combinations and the lowest CO2 emissions on the road. As it's expected the technology to replace a diesel engine and Z-segment Renault cars. The system borrows from Formula 1 Renault team energy recovery practice, and from the E-Loop concept is an early version of the hybrid system was used. What is it, E-Tech? It's a relatively simple and lightweight construction. There are two electric motors to assist a 1.6-liter about 100 HP internal combustion engine used to Renault, Nissan, Dacia and Lada Vesta. The naturally aspirated petrol engine has been reworked specifically for the hybrid. There are no any drive belts on the engine for water pump, air conditioning compressor, brake and steering servo, all electrically driven. The biggest high-voltage e-motor has 230 volts and 48 horsepower output. The smallest one high-voltage starter generator has 230 volts and 20 HP. Both motors can drive and recharge and overrun. There is a new multi-mode gearbox with two gearboxes inside, 4-speed gearbox for petrol engine and 2-speed for e-motor. Everyone has a neutral gear. The gearbox itself is a dog type, like in a racing car, no synchro and clutch-free. The electric motor is used to start to move the car, and to go backwards too, the clutch is not needed. There is a 1.2 kWh lithium-ion battery in the back of the car and charged by regenerative braking via the smaller motor generator which is connected to the petrol engine. The Clio has a 140 horsepower combined output in full acceleration. The power comes from all three motors, petrol and two electric. Outside, it's the same Clio 5 with E-Tech hybrid blue badge only. Inside, the car fitted with 9.3-inch screen with new Renault Easy Connect interface connected offering. There are several driving modes. Eco, it means you can use the electric battery for driving more than petrol engine. My Sense, which blends petrol and electric motors for maximum economy. And Sport allows to use the maximum power of all three engines. Okay, here we go. If it's cold outside, the battery charge is low, the cabin needs for warm-up. The petrol engine starts by a smaller electric motor to charge the battery to the required level. The combustion motor can't directly drive the wheels when you start to drive until the car reaches about 15 km per hour, because low-speed driving is done by a bigger electric motor with two gears only, improving performance and reducing fuel consumption. Then the small electric motor rapidly switched to speeding up the gearbox to synchronize the shifting, and also it functions as a brake regeneration module and occasional power booster. If you push the EV button, you can travel by electric power at a speed up to 75 km per hour and improve fuel economy. There are three persons inside the car, except me, my colleague Michael Macaulay from Ireland and Olivier Bros, Renault AB segment program director.
It pushes the EV mode as long as the battery is allowing you to.
Dans 200 mètres, prendre à gauche sur route 210.
It's not tuned yet, this EV button. I don't know if they mentioned it in the brief.
No.
So we are still downloading the last software. But
Prendre à gauche sur route 210 D924.
really is also these two gear ratios on the electrical engine also allows us to use the electrical engine at high speed, which is one of the difficulty of electrical motor to tolerate the high speed thermical situation. So we are changing this and this allows us to use this electrical motor at higher speed. The EV will continue with EV driving only.
So you could reach 100 kilometers an hour.
Yes, if you are in a stable situation, you could reach that.
Engine still running.
we are still driving in EV mode. If the battery is low, the petrol engine starts by small electric motor via solenoid to charge the battery to the required level. The battery in turn gives the energy to the bigger electric motor, which one directly drives the wheels using two gears. In that time, the system works like serious hybrid mode as long as it could, depending on how much power the car needs. If it needs more when the battery is low, the petrol engine with 4 gears can directly drive the wheels like parallel hybrid and gives revs higher than it's necessary to use the extra revs to charge the battery via the small electric motor. And in this case, the system works like serial parallel hybrid mode because the petrol engine drives the wheels and charges the battery at the same time. It's why the throttle pedal feels at that moment so light and the engine revs so high. The hybrid system also can disconnect the electric drivetrain for faster motorway driving, or the petrol engine for cruising speed using the power from electric motor only. The promise is that emissions from the Clio will fall below 100 grams per kilometer, with an expected combined fuel economy of 4.5 liters per 100 kilometers. All in all, the powertrain system of hybrid is multifaceted. At least there are 15 different drive modes or combinations of power source and ratio in Clio hybrid. In the case of heavy acceleration, all 3 motors, as in Formula 1, develop maximum power. For this hybrid, it's 140 HP. Olivier Bros says the acceleration from 80 to 100 km per hour takes about 6.9 seconds. We tested the sprint from 0 to 100 km per hour. It feels a bit laggy and takes less than 9 seconds with 3 persons inside.
Dans 600 mètres, prendre à gauche sur Grande Rue.
And when you are accelerating, it goes back to the second.
Yeah.
And the gap between second and third is actually intentionally quite high because we wanted to avoid using the second.
Yeah.
And so you really use the second when you need acceleration.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we, because of this high gap, we wait a little bit long to switch to the third.
As you remember, the small electric motor synchronizes the gearbox input shaft speed and crankshaft speed, like in Formula 1 dog's box. It's ref matching the gears for better shifting and does it well. In usual, the dog's box gives very harsh and noisy shifts, but it's not here in Clio hybrid.
Tournez à gauche.
At the same time, Clio E-Tech technology optimizes energy use while slowing when the driver lifts his foot off the throttle and braking. In the first case, during the acceleration, the bigger electric motor converts kinetic energy into electrical energy, transfers it to the battery. The small electric motor is doing the same using kinetic energy from petrol engine until he stops. The charging power is about 15 kilowatts and it's increased up to 50 kilowatts when you press down the brake pedal. And the big electric motor provides additional braking, recovering excess energy and returns it to the battery as much as it needs. During braking, the system uses full mixed braking with the priority of regenerative braking, where the additional hydraulic braking power comes from the brake pads only if necessary. This means that the battery is charging very quickly. Well, if we need more regenerative energy, we need to shift the gear stick from D drive to B brake mode. There are no additional shift paddles for regenerative braking on the steering wheel. In this case, the Clio hybrid slows down much faster and I hardly used the brake pedal in the city. Now it's still a B mode. It's 100.
How big is that second motor, the electric motor?
Sorry?
The electric motor, the regeneration.
It's 15 kilowatt.
Okay.
The main motor is coming from Nissan. It's Alliance, I would say, Morgan Bank. The small motor is about to Denso. It's actually BMW i8 motor used by BMW. So
if you are talking about driving feeling, behavior on the road, it's very close to usual Clio 5. Hybrid is not so heavy. The car weighs about 1250 kilograms. The suspension is the same as in diesel version, with the exception of the rear torsion beam, where the anti-roll bar is stiffer due to the additional weight from 38 kg battery. The steering feels weighted and direct. The 4-gas drivetrain is rateable to engine speed, the Renault rubber bands effect and continuously variable transmission hair, like you often get in a hybrid car. The petrol engine is quiet, it doesn't spin to high RPM if it's not need for battery charging. The system changes gear to keep it at the middle revs where it's most efficient, or even shuts off the petrol engine, getting lowest CO2 emissions. This principle is the key to all hybrids, but the Renault achieves it with a relatively straightforward lightweight design, and as you know, it's a prototype yet. The clever Clio E-Tech hybrid will go on sale in spring this year and will hope at an attractive price. After 40 km drive, the fuel consumption was 6.0 liters per 100 km, with average speed 25 km per hour. Thanks for watching, subscribe please to stay with us, and see you soon!